Framing a perspective of Snowdon, the highest mountain in Wales and England, to the east and offering views over the Irish Sea to the west, the Nantlle Valley slate quarry landscape exploited the same Cambrian purple slate vein as component parts 1 and 2 to the northeast. But in form and technical attributes, it is very different and offers a contrast to the mountainous terrain of the other component parts. The Nantlle Valley belonged to many different landowners, and therefore developed as many separate quarries within which much of the older rural landscape remains, expressing the transition from a traditional agricultural economy to an industrial society.
Yn halws arn yr stalwm fe welem lyfni lan ar ddol hynafol honno ac gymell hyn o gan, ac megis gwyrth y gwelem ar lan hen afon hyd y ddol a ddylai pepin yn sblander bore'r byd. Yn halws arn y sywaith, ni welwn lyfni mwy, na gwartheg gwirthiol pepin yn ei cynefin hwy. Buan yn dysgodd bywyd a thrawiaeth llanw a thrai. Rhyngom ar ddol ddi haglog daeth chwyddfa'r gloddfa glai.
This component part is 320 hectares in area, with elements dating from the 17th century to the 1930s. These are Cilgwyn Slate Quarry Tips, Blaen y Cai Slate Quarry Blondin Ropeway, Dorothea Slate Quarry, Dorothea Slate Quarry Cornish Beam Engine, Penybryn Cloddfad Lawn Slate Quarry Dwellings, Slate Mill and Chain Incline Ropeway Bastions, Penybryn Cloddfad Lawn Slate Quarry Water Driven Pump System, Pen yr Orsedd Slate Quarry, Pen yr Orsedd Slate Quarry Blondin Ropeway, the Nantlle Railway, Nantlle Village, settlements on Cilgwyn Mountain, Plas Talysarn and Talysarn Farmhouse. Within this component part, geology and topography meant that slate deposits could only be opened out of pits, some up to 150 metres deep. As a result, ingenious methods were employed to raise blocks and rubble, as well as to pump water out of deep confined workings. At Penybryn and Dorothea quarries, local engineers developed chain incline ropeways to raise and lower slate trucks, running from the pit bottoms to massive slate bastions. At Blaen y Cai and Pen yr Orsedd quarries, steam and electrically powered aerial ropeway systems were later used, a technology imported from the stone quarries of Scotland known as blondins, after the famous tightrope walker Charles Blondin. Dewatering of the quarry pits was essential in Nantlle, and here technology imported from the metal mines of Devon and Cornwall was used. At Penybryn and Cloddfad Lawn slate quarries, a flat rod pumping system was driven by water wheels. This provides a contrast in technology with a nearby Cornish beam engine, used to pump Dorothea Quarry from 1906 until 1951. The engine, still in its original roofed engine house, was one of the last such engines ever manufactured by the Homan brothers of Camborne, and is one of only 16 to survive worldwide, but the only one to survive with its original boilers. The horse-worked Nantlle Railway served the valley's slate quarries from 1828 to 1963. This was the first public railway in the slate industry, built with Liverpool finance and with the advice of the famous Stephenson family of railway engineers. Their innovative system of wrought iron rails on stone block sleepers was used here and was later adopted by the Festiniog Railway. With the coming of the national railway network to the region in the 1860s, the railway was reduced to the short section running through the component part. This was realigned several times as the quarry pits were extended and continued to be horse-worked almost until its closure. The Nantlle Valley slate quarry landscape tells a story of the people who worked, lived and raised families here. The tide of settlement brought about by the expansion of the quarries is evident in many forms, from the adaptation of an earlier farmhouse into a quarry manager's house at Plas Talasadden, and that of farm buildings into barracks for both quarrymen and their families at Pen-y-Bryn Quarry. It is also in the expansion of settlement from the scattered cottages and field plots on the mountain common at Cilgwyn, enclosed without any legal authority from 1798, to the planned small village of Nantlle, developed from the 1860s to the 1890s by Pen yr Orsedd Quarry. In these settlements, the men, women and children of the valley helped the industry grow and were inspired to sing, write poetry and fiction, for which the valley is famous throughout Wales. Here, they also suffered its losses and hardship, such as during the Great Depression of the 1930s, when unemployed quarrymen reworked slate waste from their simple shelters on the Cilgwyn tip. Ultimately, they also experienced its end. Today, the National Lottery heritage-funded Unloved Heritage Project offers a programme of archaeological and creative activities designed to engage, enthuse and inspire young people to take part and learn about their local heritage. Over the last 3 years, the Ngwynedd Archaeological Trust has worked with local young people, exploring the slate quarrying history of the Nantlle Valley. Here is what the young participants have to say about their project.
Ni ydi prosiect Treftadaeth di sylw.
Ers iddyn ni fod yn rhan o'r Treftadaeth di sylw, da ni wedi dysgu lot o sgiliau newydd, fel ffotograffiaid a cloddio archeolegol yn fan hyn, Pen-y-Bryn, ar y Carreg Briodas.
Yn ystod prosiect Treftadaeth di sylw, da ni wedi cael llawer o profiadau bod ni mewn helicopter a ffotograffiau, a fy ffefryn personol recordio i rap.
Dwi'n meddwl bod prosiect Treftadaeth di sylw Dyffryn Nantlle o werth i lot o bobl fel ni'r oed yma i'r ardal yma, achos mae gennym ni ac yr hanes yma i gyd reit o fo'n cyrraedd a da ni byth yn mynd yna a gwerthfawrogi fo. Dwi'n meddwl mae'r profiadau da ni wedi cael a'r pethau da ni wedi cael dysgu mynd i helpu ni i ddall beth sy'n mynd ymlaen ac i werthfawrogi beth sydd yma rili.